It's TGI Friday. Let's wrap up another week with a sign change of a planet. We've got Mercury moving into Aries. Now, that's not until tomorrow. If you want today's news, it's the moon moving into Sagittarius. That happens at 4:34 this afternoon. Hi, everybody. Thomas Miller. Thanks for joining us on Friday, April 10th in these ominous days, living in the shadow of Saturn and Pluto and Jupiter and Saturn and Mars, and my goodness. And now we get to talk about squaring Uranus. More work that I've been doing just on my own. No question that I think there are other things at play here, and I know most of you would agree. I mean, that's something that everybody, I think, agrees on right now, but it's just a matter of what. So what we can do in the meantime is we can take a look at what the energies are up in the sky, and as long as the current is not sweeping them down the river, and I've been using that example or illustration, then we might get some subtle energies, and one of those would be the moon moving into Sagittarius today. So that could lighten and brighten things up a little bit. Since Wednesday afternoon, Scorpio, this afternoon, Sagittarius. That lasts through tomorrow and most of Sunday, because at 8:05 p.m. Sunday night, the moon moves into Capricorn. Those are all Eastern time zone. So we should probably do a podcast on Sunday, at least, talking about that, or if not, we'll cover it on Monday. But when the moon moves into Capricorn, obviously, we go on point. And we'll take a look at the last time that the moon was there, because that was obviously significant in the progression of modern history. But at least for the next couple of days, we get to breathe a little lighter with the moon in Sag. It will be happy to get out of detriment in Scorpio. But the big one, I think, that we need to really focus on is when Mercury moves into Aries. That will happen tomorrow at 12:43 a.m. So when you wake up in the United States, at least, tomorrow morning, you will have Mercury in Aries. I'm going to take the observer mode on this one, if you don't mind, because so many interpretations that you could make of this. Classically, what you would do is just take all of the mercurial characteristics, so basically the intellect, learning, knowledge, communication, listening. Got that one from Steve Forrest, narrating the Book of Air. He talks about you can't have communicating, talking, writing, etc., without listening. And he even boiled it down to the concept of perception. I think that's actually pretty wise. And with all of that moving into hell's fire, basically, is what you're talking about, as it moves into the sign of Aries, where it will be sign aspect conjunct the sun. Now, if you're going by degrees, Mercury will try to catch the sun, won't quite do it, but Mercury is only in Aries until April 27th. So Mercury, think of ricocheting off of its retrograde in Pisces and then Aquarius and then turning direct and then zooming really through Pisces, and now has a lot of tailwind and will move quickly through Aries. And being conjunct the sun, I'm just kind of thinking that there's a lot of fire going on here. And as we look back at Mercury's retrograde, that was kind of the kickoff peak, if you will. Not the peak, I mean the kickoff peak of this virus as it originated and started to spread. So what part of that Mercury played, I don't know. It certainly was there, but so was Saturn and Pluto, and Jupiter and Pluto, and Mars and Saturn. So, it's just which energy. That's why I've kind of just ducked off to the theory that maybe the macro is just in control. So we'll just have to see. Let's watch and see. It's kind of like when Saturn was at 29 degrees in Capricorn, and we said, let's just observe. And then all of a sudden, the virus just broke loose. That showed us what some of Saturn's characteristics in Aquarius were going to be. So I think we just have to get a feel for it. But I was thinking as I was doing this podcast, I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to turn screens off as Mercury launches into Aries. Because Mercury rules this technology. Now I have to do some stuff, but by and large, I'm going to opt for journal and pen, meditation blanket, Kundalini yoga routine, which you can get, by the way, at soulfoodtalks.com if you'd like. In the freebie section, go download yourself a yogi Kundalini yoga routine, Spotify playlist, and a chai tea, a wonderful natural chai tea recipe. That's all in there. I'm going to opt for that stuff over the screens. I'm going to turn everything off and kind of have an inaugural weekend of Mercury and Aries without the electronics. Feels good, feels right, and well-deserved. I hope you have a great Friday. Thanks. I will probably not check in tomorrow. We just basically covered it, but I will be back on Sunday because we do need to talk about the moon in Capricorn. Take care. Have a great day. Sending you love. Stay strong, stay in, stay safe, and we're going to make it through together.